brought to you by Locate Your Home and Improvement with facilities in Fort Worth, Texas, Dallas, Texas, and Tallulah, Louisiana. I'm your host, John Beckwith Jr. Today. Hi, it's Marlon Texas.
Hello, everyone.
All right, you guys, we have our chief marketing officer. You think she already get this right? What y'all think? All right, we're working on that Instagram over there. Don't even make you get up. You sure?
Yeah.
All right, you gotta make it happen. All right, you guys. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. What are we talking about today? We are talking about where are you?
Mhm.
All right, where are you on the stages of grief? Now, all of us have lost loved.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Most
Yes.
adults that are watching this show, most people that's part of this show, you have a loved one who has passed away. So we have Mother's Day coming up in
Yes.
May.
Yes.
We have Father's Day coming up in June.
Mhm.
We have the date of birth of
Mhm.
our loved ones,
Mhm.
and we have the date of death of our loved ones.
Mhm.
So I can think of at least four anniversaries. Let's go a little further. Christmas, Thanksgiving, all of those. So that's six dates within a 12-month period
Okay.
that reminds us what stage we're in.
Okay.
So let's go back over here. I'll start from, let's start with date of birth.
Date first. Okay.
Anytime my loved one's birthday come up, it reminds me of what stage I'm in.
Correct.
Anytime the date of death comes up, which was that anniversary,
Mhm.
I'm always buying for a ride as far as the grief process.
Okay.
So then we have Mother's Day,
We have.
we have Father's Day, we have Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
and we have Christmas.
Okay.
All of them remind us where
Oh,
we
yeah.
are in the grief process.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about somebody close to
So we just celebrated Easter.
you. Okay, we should.
We just celebrated Easter, and I remember
Resurrection.
resurrection. I remember going into labor. My first baby was coming at Easter. So I think I was still kind of in the grieving process because that's still a hard holiday. So now, what
So
stage
we're
am I
speaking
in?
of a baby passing
I'm
away.
speaking of a baby passing away.
So this Easter, what stage were you?
Oh man, I think I was still kind of in that denial.
Denial that the baby had?
Yeah,
You still think maybe the baby is?
yeah. Even though I know that the baby is deceased.
It's a stage.
Yeah.
You think you went as far back as denial?
I think I did.
So let's talk about the five stages we're speaking of. We know there's many different stages out there. Google stages of grief.
Mhm.
You'll have that some psychologists have written seven, some have written five,
Mhm.
10, or whatever.
Mhm.
We're going with the five stages. Y'all listen or get your doctorates. You know something about we have to work.
Yeah, you have to write something.
Sometimes it becomes a book.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets published. That's where you see so many different things. There's no right or wrong, but
Mhm.
it's different opinions.
Right.
I'm going by the facts. So denial,
Mhm.
anger,
Anger. Yeah.
all right, bargaining,
Mhm.
depression,
Mhm.
and acceptance.
Can you
Those are
experience
the
all
ones.
five at one
Oh,
time?
no question.
Because yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. What I found is that you will balance that.
Sure.
I mean, you it's like, man, I was depression this year, but next year I was something else, or I was angry, and something triggered another part.
Mhm.
There's no course you can all five, but normally one of them is prevalent
Mhm.
at that moment. Where are you? Where? Let's talk
Um.
about that. Let's talk about
Yeah.
Easter. You said you just get the night. Did it
Yeah.
make it angry? Did it, were you arguing with it out done different?
Oh, definitely. Oh,
Those one of
definitely. Bargaining. And then, of course, by the time, church was out and all that other kind of stuff, I
Yeah.
think I began as the day was coming to a close, I was at the acceptance center.
Isn't that something? We went through
Yeah.
all five stages in
Mhm.
a 1 day
In a
period.
one day.
So the reason I brought this up today is that sometimes people will look at you because time has passed
Mhm.
and because you have reached acceptance
Mhm.
that people think you're always there.
Interesting.
So I want to say to those who are watching, listening today, you're not always in acceptance.
Mm.
People say, or they'll look at you and think, you haven't got over that yet.
Uh-huh.
You're still grieving your mother from over 20 some years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, every time my birthday comes, I find myself in one of those stages. Every time the day she passed away, every time Christmas, all Thanksgiving,
Mm.
Mother's Day. I'm always in one of those stages and have done that for 23 years. Isn't that something?
That is
So we just want to recognize that today. We want to talk about that today to help those who don't think we're just crazy.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times people judge you. Like you said, like, oh, you're not over that yet. And it's just like, well, first of all, if you have a relationship, even though I didn't have a relationship yet, the child was mine.
Okay.
Like, from conception
You
to all of
definitely
that.
had a relationship because
Yeah.
conception was a relationship.
Exactly.
And
Because I actually
as
like the
the
person
have
I
a-
had the baby with.
Yes,
Okay.
all right. Some people don't like the person, but they like what's in them. If something is in you that's a
Right.
life and is growing, or
Correct.
it's something in you.
Correct.
It's definitely a relationship.
Oh, definitely.
And normally it's a relationship before we ever have a relationship.
Exactly.
You have a relationship.
Exactly. Because I bargained because at the time I was driving a Camaro, I was driving a sports car, and I was like, well, maybe this happened because I was driving a sports car. Maybe
Sitting too low.
my legs, or so it was all of these different
Was
types
it
of
a
things.
stick?
It was.
I had to
Yeah,
push the clutch.
60. Yeah, all of that.
That's
Yeah.
a lot. That's a lot. I think
Yeah.
somebody else needs to hear that.
Yeah, because I even asked my doctor, I said, was this attributed to that? And he said, well, the problem is that, women don't understand, first of all, that it is common for you to have a miscarriage and be completely healthy. And I said, okay. He said, so it wasn't anything that you did wrong. It wasn't anything that you ate. It wasn't. And so I began again to bargain because when I had the miscarriage, when my water broke at home, I had a barbecue sandwich the night before, Mr. Beckwith. So I was like,
never eat barbecue again.
exactly. I had vacuumed the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So for like a year, I didn't vacuum the floor. My husband was like, say, you ain't gonna need it. You're probably gonna come back from the floor. But really not understanding the stages of it.
And that we go through it at least 6 times a year.
Man,
that's
I believe
lot.
I believe it.
So we also deal with multiple griefs.
Okay.
Because you've had more than just the loss of your baby.
Yes.
So your father's passed away. Who else has passed away?
My grandmother.
Your grandmother was close to you. Your father.
Yes, and my baby.
So that's at least 3.
Oh yeah.
Now we might be talking about 18 times a year.
Oh man.
It's only 12 months
in
a year.
You grab the phone to call.
Come on.
You grab the phone to call, or you visit the place that you always went. Like, I don't go to Red Lobster simply because that's where Dad used to take me when I did good on my report card.
That's where your father took you?
Yeah.
So where are you on what day, or which one of those out of 6 days remind you most of it? Which one?
December 31st. That's the day he was murdered.
So his date of death, that new anniversary date that we have, is the day that reminds you.
Every time. So I can be in watch night service and choir done sang good, bishop done preached, and I never.
Where are you? Where were you on the last?
I think I'm still kind of angry. Very much so.
And it's interesting. How many years ago?
36.
How many people out there watching, listening right now, saying, I'm still in the anger stage after 36 years? But we got to help some people. I think we've gotten the point across that we all go through the grieving process, and that we find ourselves at least sometimes 6 times a year that we're in different stages. How do we help somebody move on?
That's a question.
So let's start with number 1, denial.
Yeah.
Now, denial I thought was the easiest one. But what I found out that it wasn't. Because you would think denial is just common sense. Why am I still thinking? And I think I say denial is that I think sometime, and this is deep, I forget. Okay. And something happens and remind me that I am fatherless.
Oh yeah.
Something happens and remind me that I'm motherless.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Something happens and says, man, I'm the only boy.
Yeah.
Something happens that puts me into a reality that I was in denial. It's like a speech was said, and they said, on behalf of John Beckwith Jr. And I'm sitting there waiting on them to say, on behalf of John Beckwith Sr.
Exactly.
Or we're proofing programs, and I think the staff still don't get it yet, that I'm grieving my dad's death.
Oh, yeah.
So when they put his name on the back of the program, I always fuss it.
Yeah.
They think I am just
fussing, but
Or
it's
they
deeper
think
than
I need
that.
to see my name on the back of the
Mhm.
program.
It's
Not
not that.
at all.
It's bigger than that.
It's a grieving process.
Yeah.
You're going to call his name again? You're going to make me get out? Because right now I'm okay. I'm not even thinking about I am fatherless until you put the wrong name. I didn't even think about it until you said senior instead of junior. And then I find myself right back there. So how do we get past the first stage? I'm going to say this. You don't.
Interesting.
That we constantly repeat the cycle.
Okay.
So we don't ever get past it. It doesn't ever pass. It doesn't ever pass. What it does is rotate.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just me now. Maybe it's just me. It never passed. It just rotates.
That's interesting. You the expert.
I'm just telling you on my behalf. I'm speaking as a person who grieves as well as an Undertaker who deals with grieving people. I believe we just continuously rotate. Do I still get angry?
Oh, most definitely.
And there's no way somebody's watching right now.
And you knew that he was sick. But the fact of the matter is, it's reality. But that's still your dad. You know, I don't care how sick somebody is, or, hey, you know, we had employees. We had a lot of employees that passed away last year, including Dad.
We had like 6.
We had a lot.
In 1 year.
And the fact that we were still like, no, that's no. And then when management would take their name off of the app or the schedule, it became like, man, no, denial or bargaining. Like, no, they're going to come back. You know, they're going to walk back through that
one extreme to the next. The youngest, 18-year-old, all the way up to an 80-year-old passed away.
Yeah. That was crazy. So all of us were actually experiencing different types at that time. Some of us were closer to others. Then, you know, we lost 2 young people under the age.
Co-workers. Also
Correct.
cause grieving process. Family.
Definitely.
In some cases, your co-worker is your family.
Yes. Yeah. You spend more time at work than you do at home.
All right, we got to talk about this, y'all. Let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Deny. What would stop me from rotating? Because we need to rotate, because eventually we need to get to acceptance. How do I, and I want to use this word, mindful, how do I rush the process? Because I'm trying not to be trying not to be angry. I don't want to keep bargaining. I want to move on. I don't want to be depressed. So like you say, I went through all 5 stages in one day.
Yeah.
But you went on through that rotation.
I did.
Eventually you got to acceptance. You started appreciating the services, and you went home.
And I went home. And it was so funny because my son, my boy who just turned 6, was born Easter week.
Okay.
You know, so it's the fact that, I had to accept, I'm walking out the hospital without a baby. The baby is still laying over there, or they're about to take him to the morgue. That you really have to, it's a process. So like, I'm mad, like I'm walking out the hospital, I don't have no baby in my hand. And you on the maternity ward. And I'm mad. And
it's not the way it's supposed to happen.
And you hear the other babies in the, next door crying, and you like, wait, I'm about to get out of this thing. I'm about to whoop a nurse. I'm about to whoop
somebody's fault.
Somebody's fault, right? So then you just really begin to, because I say, man, I should have 3 kids. But it's definitely a process. But I didn't realize that I could experience all of those at one time.
Our goal is acceptance.
Acceptance.
Our goal is acceptance. We're saying that we know that we will start back over.
All over.
We may not even start over in art.
Correct.
We'll call one of them number 1. It doesn't mean it's the number 1.
Yes.
I can start with it.
Yes.
And make my way to steps. I can start with bargaining. I can start with depression. But the goal is to get to acceptance. Now what do you think about others that we're responsible for that is unfair when we're going through the grieving process? So let me give you an example. It is your son's birth. It is unfair to him.
That's right.
That mama is going through a grieving process over a baby who's passed before, or her dad, or grandmother, whatever. Right. It's my birthday. You don't have a right.
That's right. That's true. That's
to
true.
go through your But
That's
guess
right.
what? You still going through it
Anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting that a lot of times people don't understand celebrations triggers the grieving process.
Ooh, tell me about it.
Christmas
Uh-huh.
triggers grieving process
Agreed.
because you're reminded of someone who's passed,
Agreed.
and your children are celebrating. Or you see somebody else all happy, they be like, "Hey, ain't nothing happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Merry Christmas. Ain't nothing merry about this. I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking about my dead mom. Hey, hold on, Doc. You don't have a right to ruin my
Right.
Christmas.
That's true.
You don't have a right to ruin my birthday,
That's
my
right.
Father's Day, my
That's true.
Mother's Day, because you are grieving.
Mm-hmm.
What do we say to the people about not ruining other people's holiday because you're grieving
Mm-hmm.
the same holiday?
That's hard, because it's like, how do you check somebody about that? So
People do.
Because I know an auntie. Now listen, don't y'all come in here with all of that. Don't y'all come in here with that crying, that hollering, and screaming, and getting into it. You're gonna have to go somewhere else with that. Now she puts that disclaimer down in the group
because
text.
she don't want to go
Listen,
through a grieving
that's her
process.
mama. That's her whatever, or her
gonna
daddy.
make it worse on me.
Exactly. So really putting together, kind of like what you do every year, is talk about what can we do. So let's have a domino tournament, stage tournament. Let's have activities, because I think a lot of times when you get by yourself or when you see those same people, it does trigger. Oh, that this happened or that happened, or I remember we used to do this. So yeah, I think you have to put that disclaimer down early.
So let's talk about it. You have 24 hours.
Okay.
I think we have to learn to set aside time for each emotion. There is a time and place for everything. Bible speaks about that. You have to do that.
All in one
You
day.
have to give yourself time to grieve that day. But you're gonna have to put time.
So I can't be mad. I can't be mad. 23. 23
Christmas morning, right? Kids get up at 6, whatever, open the present. Well, I'm gonna grieve from 5 to 6. Because at 6, you guys, it's time to celebrate, and at 6, I'm being selfish.
So I got to put that in my phone.
You got to make the alarm go off. I'm just trying to help us through this process. I'm saying you are going to go through. Amy say don't show up with. Amy, I agree with you, but Amy, I need to go through.
So you better do it before you get there.
Oh, I need to set aside. I can do it before, I can do it, but not during, because during this time, I have set that period of time for celebration.
So somebody may only be able to visit
maturity. There you go. Maturity.
Okay.
So you need to be able to know there's a time and place for, I don't get to express my emotions at all times. Mm-hmm. Infants do that. Mm-hmm. They just cry when they're hurt. They just cry when they are
hungry, wet.
They cry. And they have a right as an infant to express themselves as soon as they feel it, because that's how we know. As we grow and become adults, we are feeling hungry sometimes, but we don't cry. We wait till it's time to eat. We are wet mentally, physically, full of it too.
Right.
But we wait to express that. We know we don't express it whenever we
feel like it. Right.
So I think we have to apply that to grief. As we mature, we need to apply. Listen, I don't believe your loved one, God, or nobody else wants you to be in depression at all. I just don't believe that is the case. We're saying it's normal to go through depression. It's normal to bargain. It's normal to be angry. If that's the case, give yourself time to do it. I think when you don't give yourself time, 2 things happen. First of all, you become so unhealthy and it balls up so much. When it opens too deep, or you express it wrong. You're screaming at somebody over something really small, but in reality, you're dealing with the grieving process.
Okay, so I've told you this 1,000 times. I remember when my grandmother passed away, and one of her grandchildren called me while I was in Walmart trying to get a fan and cussed me out because we didn't use the funeral home that he wanted to. Now, I didn't look at that as being grief, but I did look at it as him grieving, but I looked at it as being very.
So where was he?
I think he was angry.
He was angry. He was angry, and he expressed it. Now, was his timing bad?
Most
There
definitely.
you go.
It was very bad.
Because that shows immaturity. Not the idea that you're not grieving, not the idea that you're angry, but your maturity shows when you express it and how you express it.
Yeah.
Shows maturity. So we're just trying to help people today with dealing with grief. We're saying you're going to deal with at least 6 times a week. I mean, a year. We know that you're going to have to deal with multiple deaths because you never get over someone that was close to you. It's just that there has to be a schedule. We all have a schedule. This morning, I got in right after 1 o'clock in the morning. I had a schedule to get up. I have to be up by 5:30 a.m. It doesn't matter what time I got home. The next day's schedule has nothing to do with last night's schedule. So you might get 4 hours of sleep, or you might get 2 hours of sleep. It doesn't matter. At 5:30, something has to happen. At 7:30, something has to happen. At 7 o'clock a.m., something happens. Swat meet. 7:30 staff meet. 9 o'clock this show. 11 o'clock funeral. All the way up to 5 o'clock p.m. funerals, 3 o'clock funeral arrangements, party this evening. Y'all, I have a schedule. You got a schedule, don't you?
I do.
All of us have a schedule. And we have a schedule. I got a schedule tomorrow. I have St. John Missionary Baptist Church, 7 o'clock service. I have Mount Rose Missionary Baptist Church, 10:30 service. You know, we all have a schedule. What if I need to grieve?
Yeah, set that time.
Put it in the schedule. So I'm not at church missing church.
Agree.
I'm not with my family missing my family. You ever seen somebody, and I think OJ said the best, your body's here with me, but your mind is on there. Have you ever missed something because you were grieving? Or your thought process, you was here, but you was thinking about something because you didn't schedule your time to do that. Now, I know this sounds hard. I know this sounds like, man, you're almost like you don't care, or you don't schedule, man. I do it when I feel it. No, you guys, kids do things when they feel it. Children do things when they feel it. Not adults. We have to mature even when it comes to grief.
That's good.
So there are some people that's out there that's still dependent on me because I am an adult and I am their mentor, I'm their father, I'm their whatever. They're dependent on me to do the right thing today.
That's right.
And it's not that they're being selfish. It's not that they're not thinking that I'm going to go through the grieving process. They know I am. But what they hope and wish and pray, don't do it right now at my graduation. Don't be at my graduation crying because your mama didn't get to see my graduation. How many people do that?
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Don't set aside a time to grieve.
And they'll get mad at you because you're not crying and fussing like they
Come
will.
on.
They will try.
This idea that I'm not crying and fussing like you are, I'm just not doing it right now. I have set a time to do it. Now, what do you think about that? And can I write a book about that? Can I get
think
my
you can.
doctorate
I
on
can. I think you can.
there's a time for it.
It's a time. I mean, it says it in the Bible. It's a time to. Now that scripture is different, but I think
There's a time. Well,
time
you
to
can
grieve
apply.
and a time to to cry and all that stuff. But I definitely think that this will definitely help somebody because I don't think that we know or we assume that we should do things a certain way. You know, I know for me that my husband is grieving different. It was his baby too. But
he has to go through the process.
And he might be done. He might be over.
He's not going to be over. That trigger going to hit him too. It's just, no question. No question. The only difference is, the only reason you don't know that is that he's grieving it without you, without your knowledge. He's grieving.
Okay.
He's grieving at a different time.
Okay.
You guys, we have picked the first part of this show to be serious.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes we need to be serious. Sometimes we need to help people with what we deal with on an everyday basis.
Yeah,
definitely. So let's move on to a little lighter side.
Okay.
How much time do I have to do this? Good. I want to move to the second half of the show, a little lighter. Do we grieve our pets?
Oh, yes. Let me speak
Now, we talked about mom, we talked about dad, we talked about babies. I got all serious on me.
Yes.
Let's talk about grieving pets.
Listen, I I had a Cocker Spaniel, and y'all know that Mr. Beckwith did not send his condolences or his. He didn't send me nothing. I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm angry. But no, in all seriousness, listen, I had this Cocker Spaniel since I graduated from undergrad. I had that dog for 16 years.
16 years.
About 16 years. My buddy. And I told my husband, if you want to marry me,
what's the dog name?
His name was Dakota.
How did Dakota die?
He had cancer. He had cancer.
How do we even be finding stuff out about dogs?
Because you take them to the vet and get them checked out. Don't you go to the doctor? What's wrong with you?
We're talking about pets, right?
But we are talking about pets. But we are talking about a dog. But let me tell y'all, I had him for 16 years. I took him to the vet. They said, Miss Taylor, there's nothing else that we can do. Would you like to take him home? He did. Would you like to take him home? Not chemo, y'all. Would you like to take him home to spend more time? I said no. Because if I take him home, I won't bring him back. And y'all, they had to put him, They had to put him down. They had to put him down.
It's a dog.
It's a dog that dogs are companions.
Support.
No. So this is like for you. This ain't like for pet owners, because you over here clowning. You know what?
What's the dog?
You know what? I already told you the dog's name. His name was Dakota. Black on black Cocker Spaniel.
Pets, y'all. What's the
They're
dog?
like family, Mr. Beckwith. They're like family. Don't you have grand dogs?
I grew up with dogs. I don't know one of them grand dogs. I ain't claiming no grand dog.
Winston.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what?
Yes.
I had my dog.
Been burying dogs in the back.
No, I had mine cremated, and he's on the side.
I believe in burying them in the dog.
And he is still.
They don't have health insurance for dogs.
They do have health insurance for dogs.
It was castrol. Put a little castrol in.
Okay, so now you want. So
now
you
rid of the
got
worms.
You ain't
helping
nobody.
Rid of the worms.
You ain't helping
nobody.
Don't
get rid of the worms. It's meant for Fifi to move on.
Not Fifi, y'all.
Yeah,
okay.
Fifi was our dog.
Wow.
Fifi used to live in a house.
Right.
Fifi was roommate. And Fifi was a talk food. When Fifi died, Fifi went to the backyard. I think they built a door station after Fifi.
You know what? That's
so
so
no.
You have no.
They said I stand on Fifi right now. They have to get on
no type of remorse.
I do.
You don't have a gentle bone in your body.
Process with dogs.
You don't have a gentle bone in your body. You even bring that up.
I'm in denial.
Yeah, what did you
I'm in denial that Fifi died.
No, you're not.
I'm not angry that
No, you're not.
I'm not
I don't think you cared about Fifi.
I love Fifi. I love Fifi.
No, you didn't.
What else did
I think you just did that to
I no longer have Fifi.
You know what? You need to talk about something.
Y'all listen. I don't believe dogs go to heaven. I said it.
Anything created by God, anything that was created by God.
Trees was created by God.
Anything
that was created,
anything
the ocean was created by God. Fish was created by God.
All dogs.
They ain't going to heaven. They no soul. You think the dog had a soul?
What is your point? Why did you bring
We
this
talking about grieving.
We talking about grieving. People, and you know what? Listen, some jobs will even allow you to take a day or two for grieving your pet. It is no lie.
I'm not saying you don't grieve. That's the reason we're talking about. That's just amazing to me. Is there a heaven for dogs? Come on, go ahead.
I told you that there was.
Who do you think breathed a breath of life into the dog?
You know what?
Nobody.
You know
God ain't breathe no breath of life in no dog. Therefore, he ain't accepting no dog back in heaven.
Okay, just move on.
I'm just
this
is second half. I need to talk about this.
Just move
I think
on.
half the people on here right now probably agree with you that all dogs go to heaven.
Dogs, rabbits. Have you ever had a pet rabbit?
What about rat? Did Ben go to heaven? Did Michael Jackson's rat Ben go to heaven?
I don't know about that. I don't know nothing about that. But
I'm talking about us. You don't know Ben? You know us Ben?
No.
So if Cocker Spaniel went to heaven, that means Ben would. We gonna have rats in heaven?
Someone said that their bulldog transitioned 7 years ago, and that's when they did their first eulogy in the backyard. Poor Chico. Thank you. Thank you.
Process.
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor. Thank you,
Pastor. Did the dog go to heaven?
Did.
In the eulogy that you end with, we're gonna see the dog again in the resurrection. If the dog's getting up to,
I don't understand.
if the dog's getting up to, so the rat that was caught in the rat trap, like
And someone has agreed with me on Facebook. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Evans.
So regular rats come back or just hamsters?
Listen, y'all, what I'm saying is the pets that we register, our cats and our dogs or whatever. I even had a pet pig. But what I'm saying is,
Ham,
you know what?
chitlins, pixie.
You have a right
Oh,
to
no.
breathe. You have a right to.
I'm just saying, when I think of a pig, nor do I ever think about a pig in heaven. What's a pig name?
You know what? I don't even remember. I don't even remember her name.
I'm gonna call her Bacon.
I just
In loving memory of you.
But I think this is a
ham sandwich with cheese. I'm thinking
of somebody got to be the mature one on this side.
We're talking about the second half of the show. Should we breed pets?
Somebody said, I want to believe there are pets in heaven.
Pets in heaven?
I think so.
We got a pooper scooper in heaven. We got a pooper scooper in heaven.
Oh, man. I don't know.
The great resurrection, all the dogs and everything. It's so many. Y'all know people have pet snakes, right? You talking the snakes gonna be in heaven? Snakes gonna come to heaven. People gonna walk around hell with snakes around there. What you think?
If you want to be a cop, and
I'm just talking about the grieving process. You ever know dog? I had a dog named Terry.
I had a dog named Snowball, and she died.
Terry died. Anybody want to know Terry? Yes, they can get.
Get
on! Somebody catching a bus right now, standing on Terry. The train is coming by, running right over Terry grave. Right there, 5130.
You have no.
South Finley Drive, y'all. Y'all know where the DAR station is. There's $2 buried back there.
Why are you
Somebody said snakes ain't in heaven.
Yeah, serpents don't go to heaven.
How you gonna be prejudiced against your pet? Why your pet get to go to heaven and my pet don't get to go to heaven?
I know that's not what this show is about.
It's about grieving. It sounds like it is. But I think you angry about it.
I am, because you're making me feel some kind of way. Yes, he is. I feel like this. Anything, you know what? I'm not gonna recognize you. Are you going? Are you going? Are you going? So all I'm saying is, anything that you love and you have taken care of for years.
It's gonna be goldfish in heaven.
Possibly.
It's gonna be catfish in heaven.
Possibly.
We're gonna get the prime.
Possibly.
Some of that Asian Hennessy.
Possibly.
Get your cocktail on.
You know what? You need to talk.
It's gonna be shrimp in heaven.
You need to just discuss the 7 things that people need to know if they're grieving and they want to leave their dog $1 million insurance policy. That's their business. That's their business.
You've seen people do that. Let's talk. We talked about grieving process. We talked about
why are you this way?
Now we're talking about should we go through this without? I found that some people love their pets more than they love their people.
Agree.
And you know why?
Why?
Because pets are faithful.
They don't.
Pets don't have attitude. You know, pets ain't sometimes.
That's true.
Pets are not unfaithful. It ain't like you walk out with your pet and they go run to somebody else.
Why are you doing
that? They love their pets more than they love their people. And then, you know, pet cemeteries, pet cremation,
yes,
pet funeral, that became a major situation. I think we're about to open us a pet funeral home.
Really?
Yes, we are.
You playing.
It's going to be a different facility. I'm not playing. I had pets. I tell you, TC and Terry. You think I don't grieve?
You don't. You play too much. Yeah, you play too much. You play too much.
Are you in anger right now?
I'm feeling some
what could you have done to save Cocker Spaniel?
I couldn't have done anything because he had
you ready to accept the Cocker Spaniels don't die?
I knew he was eventually.
Adam was like 7 times old enough to talk about like dog years. Maybe you talk about dog years. They lived a long time. Terry lived a long time. Okay. So what do you say, like they 7 times or something like that?
Something like that in dog years.
Dog years. Mm-hmm. Do dogs go to heaven? Let's ask the preachers out there. Preachers, do dogs go to heaven? All right, they made a movie about it. I disagree. I don't believe any pets or anything of that sort. No beast goes to heaven. None of that stuff. I don't believe anything that was created by God goes to heaven but humans. Okay. That's it.
You keep believing.
That's right. That's right. Unless you show me something different about it. I remember the Egyptians in my study, they used to bury their dogs with them. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they sure would. They would bury their dogs. They would bury their possessions and things that they thought was important to them. Because they believe when they crossed over, these things would help them cross over, comfort them in crossing over.
Okay.
So things would die that should still be alive. It had to die, stay with the owner that it belonged to. All types of things, you guys. I know y'all know some of this history. If not, I just told it to you. Unfair. Should have killed the dog. Dog ain't going to hell. Dog just did. All right. Now, grieving process. Get on to acceptance. Dog dead.
Okay.
Dog dead. Denial.
Uh-huh.
Dog dead.
Okay.
Angry. Dog dead. You're trying to beat up somebody because they ran over your dog. Get them in the street. Number 3, bargaining. Bargaining.
I
And
wonder what you're coming back at. I'm gonna ask the Lord to make
I don't believe in reincarnation. I don't believe in that. That is of the devil. Reincarnation is of the devil. I'm going to heaven or hell. That's the only thing two humans go to. You don't get to go to nothing else. You ain't coming back. Coming back. I don't think coming back is Jesus. You ain't coming back. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the grieving process. The first thing you need to do is get you a pre-need on your dog. Get your pre-need on your pet. So I know we kind of laugh about that, but let's talk about it. When you purchase a pre-need, check this out. With Golden Gate Funeral Home, guess what can come with it?
A dog.
A pet pre-need.
So when does all this happen?
Yes.
When I just
when you purchase a pre-need with Golden Gate Funeral Home, you can add 2 pets to the pre-need. And if your pet passes away, that insurance will kick in and pay for the pet services. You actually, this is no joke. I know Marla think I'm clowning. I am not clowning, you guys. This is a true story. When you take a pre-need out with Golden Gate Funeral Home, you can add 2 pets to your pre-need. Okay. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
Listen, y'all, you saw the look on her face, right? I'm going to show it to her on the pre-need application today because she's looking at me like, you don't believe me. Producer, go see Sandy. Go give me a Security National Life pre-need application and tell her to be sure and give me the pet part of it. Security National pre-need. Bring it to me. I'm going to have to show the world because I have to convince Orlando that I brought up the grieving process about pets. But Golden Gate Funeral Home, we understand the importance. And we do understand grieving a pet is important. I joked about it because I want to give my co-host a hard time, but we do understand that. So not only do we pre-need yours, we also pre-need your pet. And Golden Gate Funeral Home.
Seeing is believing, so I'm just waiting.
Just waiting on it. I know you and everybody else waiting.
Everybody that had a pet that passed away.
True. It's true, y'all. You can actually pre-need your pet with yours. It's free of charge too. So it just comes with it.
So you can bury the pet,
you can bury the pet, you cremate the pet, you can have a service for a pet, and there will be money set aside, an insurance set aside for your pet. Come by a pre-need Golden Gate Funeral Home.
Okay.
Yourself, and you can pre-need for you. Because I know you guys, I joke about it, but I know you love your pets. I love my pets. And it is extremely important for that. Now, she's going to make her scream. She's going to make her scream. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And the benefits. Okay, we're going to find it. We're going to find it. I'm going to make her read it out loud, you guys, because she challenged John Beckwith. This is called Answer Undertaker. Maximum what?
Amount of the pet benefit shall be lesser of the amount of the premium paid on the policy at the time of the pet's death. Multiple pet benefits are applicable to the pet. They may not be aggregated, and only one of the pet benefits will, what is that?
As such, the purchase of a funeral contract must agree upon which one of the pet benefits.
If you don't get your tap dancing John shoes
out, you guys, y'all see that?
I know you did not.
Y'all see that?
I know you did not. Did you just?
You can get a pre-need for your head. Did I show it to you in the right?
You did. Oh my goodness.
Did you didn't know that? How long you been working here?
17 years.
17 years, y'all. You can't tell me Ask Undertaker's not an off the show. I mean, is it off
so
the chain?
Who do they call? What cemetery? Because they can't. Can they be buried at the same?
Pet cemeteries. Now, cemeteries do not do cross burials. It's like we can't do cross cremations. So I can't cremate a human in the same retort that I cremate a pet.
Oh,
It has to be just for pets. I cannot bury a pet in a human in the same cemetery. There are pet cemeteries, there are pet crematories, there are human cemeteries, there are human crematories.
so if
They have to be separate. If you do
That's
pets, all you
interesting.
can do is pets.
okay,
If you do humans, all you can do is
because people be like, I want my pet to be buried with me.
now you can put your pet in your casket,
Okay,
but it's not a pet cemetery.
makes sense. Okay,
Right. A pet, they're not going to be cross contaminated.
okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you so
You gonna leave it hanging? You gonna leave
Yeah,
it hanging?
I am.
You gonna kill them,
No,
man.
you didn't.
Yes,
No, you
yes,
didn't.
yes.
No,
You
you
get a
didn't.
pre and pet benefits insurance on the human.
You said
And I know you love your pets. I did that.
Yeah,
And y'all
yeah,
listen,
I can.
a wheel for the pets, a wheel for the pets, and a wheel for yourself.
Okay.
All of y'all have read where the person has left their pet
Oh yeah.
something before you.
Big money.
Big
Big
money,
money.
big whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
If you love your pets, there needs to be some type of will. There needs to be some set aside, but also there needs to be a living will for your pet. Who's going to take care of your pet if something happens to you?
Very good. Mhm.
Because I mean, if the pet means that much to you, and I would hope your loved one means, or you mean that much to your loved one, that you would definitely do a living will for yourself. But also in your living will, be sure to mention your pets.
Miss
Okay.
Miss Duro said it's an addendum in our pre-need for Spike.
There you go. There you go.
Mhm.
There you go. Somebody actually has
And
one.
listen, Spike ain't no
Spike is
joke.
on there.
And they actually took care of my dog when I was traveling. So
So when something's happened to Spike, Spike's gonna have some benefits for
yeah,
him to use to take care of
yes.
Spike.
And they took care of Dakota. Dakota was eating cornbread and green.
You have a dog now?
No, I'm saying that before he passed.
Oh, that
the
was Copper
DeRose,
Spaniel.
yeah, the DeRose were taking care of my Copper Spaniel.
Get out of here.
Yeah, they took care of my.
Spike.
And now this was before Spike.
Okay.
So
So
they
if
were
something
taking,
happened to the DeRose, who's gonna take care of Spike?
I'm sure that their daughter will.
Oh, they can pass it on.
To their daughter.
So you have got just like we love our pets, we love our people. These 7 things apply to everybody. So we said, first of all, we make sure there's a pre-need and you add your pet. There's also benefits like any other insurance policy. There is a will for the pets, but more important for you, there should be something that's going to happen. If you don't die, but you just become ill, who's going to take care of the pet? Who's going to take care of you?
You have a question?
All right, let's go.
Can you reopen the grave to put the pet in later or on if he or she outlives?
So later, remember now you're making it a pet cemetery.
Gotcha.
No, right now that is not allowed. You can't bury a pet in the human cemetery.
So the other
Now,
question.
what's inside your casket with you is between you and you.
Okay.
But
So
you can't be a pet.
So will your marketing now have you holding pets, or will you be taking?
Almost definitely. I'm telling you, that's my new thing. It's got to be a Golden Gate pet.
It's so you.
That's going to be my new marketing. That's my chief marketing.
I cannot wait.
And now let's talk
I
about
can't
bank
wait.
accounts. Don't leave dogs money.
Yeah, don't do
The
that.
dog needs to be taken care of by a human that you trust. So leave the money to somebody that you.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah,
So make sure
absolutely.
the beneficiary on the bank account is not a dog. I have people over here kidnapping dogs. The dog is worth more than people. Maybe it's just me. So that is on the list, right?
yes.
Now, who has the right of disposition of the dog? Because who really runs the dog? No, who got the dog? Like you got more than one child. Which one are going to decide if it's the backyard or the cemetery? Which one are going to decide if it's the mother or the father gets to decide if the dog is
the most time with it.
Now, what about if you think that much about your pet? What do you think about your loved one?
Yeah,
How often are we still dealing with
every day.
equal next to kin disagreeing? Sisters disagreeing with daughters,
Mhm.
fathers disagreeing with sons. How often are we seeing this when someone passed away? And we're still seeing it today. After 20 some years of Ask the Undertaker, we're still dealing with families that want to take care of this, that can't take care of this, because there's a next of kin that's in the way. Right of disposition. It doesn't matter about the conversation. It doesn't matter what your agreement is. Right of disposition. And hope nobody ever have to use it.
I agree.
But
I agree.
have it in somebody see go here. I'll get there right this.
Please.
Now let's talk about that letter blast. Let me hang. Because now I can talk about pets. Now I can talk about all the other stuff. Where is the pre-need that covers the pet and you? Where is it? Where should we keep, Orlando? Where should we keep our important papers?
Well, now
Now, you don't have to tell us your secret, but what do we say to the public about where do we keep the important?
Now, for me, I'm just going to say in a place where it can't be damaged. Now,
Okay.
that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say,
Flood,
right,
fire, and theft.
correct.
The three things I'll be I'll be afraid of. Because floods easily happen. You can burst a pipe in the house. They'll ruin everything in your house.
I'm an electronic person.
And
So,
we know that fire can happen.
oh, definitely.
And we know
Natural disaster.
theft. So you're saying the best way to protect it is what? Put it.
I mean, now me, I'm going to say like a safe deposit box, but I'm going to put it in a safe, probably in my house.
All right. So it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
That's fireproof. That's waterproof.
Correct.
Safe can be stolen, but it's a little more difficult than just walking in and grabbing.
Mm-hmm.
Most people not professional thieves. They don't know how to think it's safe. It's not like
right.
This is what I would say. Everything should be scanned and put in the cloud. The safest place for any important document should be electronic. Should be a soft copy.
Okay.
Everything should be on a soft copy. Insurance policy, the will, all the things we speak of, the banks information, everything should be soft copies. Soft copies of flood.
Agreed.
Fire can't get to them. That can be stolen, of course. Anything is open to theft. It is theft, things of that sort. But it's very difficult because it comes with a password. It's only sent to certain people. People are not scrambling around the house for a password. And if they are, they don't know what to look for. So I think even on the theft issue, it's better.
Agreed.
Because if I'm breaking into your house, I'm looking for the safe.
Yes.
If I'm breaking your house, like I'm taking safe, and I'm really looking for what's in the safe, but your will is in the safe, but I just want the money, and I end up throwing the will in the trash.
Right.
I believe you have to have it in a soft copy, but also a hard copy.
Agreed.
It needs to
Absolutely.
be both. There needs to be a soft copy and a hard copy. I believe no hard copies should be left at your residence or business.
So the next question is, if you're doing it electronically and you're sending it to somebody, how do you give them access? So,
You only send it to someone that you trust. They have to have rules.
So what I did was I scanned the documents, but I sent them to someone that I did it password protection.
Okay.
Because
that person was given the password.
They were given the password, yeah.
But if somebody else
yeah.
If they went there, they don't have a password.
Correct.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
There's many different ways we can do that. But also I believe there should be a hard copy. Remember, I don't believe a hard copy should be left at your home.
Correct.
Never be left at your business. Because if I'm going to steal from you, those are the first two places I would look. You're probably thinking about strangers. When we think of theft, we always think of strangers. Normally, when there's a situation with death, it's normal. I just, you call it what it is. It's very seldom I have a stranger come off the street and cause an issue. It's always bad. It's very seldom that a stranger break in and steal important paper. They just, that's usually bad. It's still bad. It's not paper.
All right.
If it ain't got a number back, they're not picking it up.
Right.
Pretty much lay that around.
Okay.
They're not walking looking for insurance.
Right.
They're not looking for that. But who is your family? So that's what you got to be mindful of. Is that I'm not just protecting it from outside, I'm also protecting it from inside. So we talk about wills. Remember, if I'm not in the will doesn't right disposition. If I'm not the person in charge, let me see it. It doesn't exist. It's all about track. So be mindful of that when you put these things in place is to protect you and your family, and sometimes to protect the family against themselves.
Agreed.
Sad, but
true. That's true.
Where are you in the grieving process? Where are you right now with the cops?
I'm good. That's all I'm gonna say.
You're on acceptance at this point. So we understand there's going to be times it's going to bring up good memories, like Undertaker brought up.
But you were being petty. You was being petty.
We were talking about pets. I thought
yeah, that's it.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
Go to get your home.
Yeah.
Get your home and premature,
Mhm.
separate from going to your home where we are. Fair enough?
Uh-huh.
Are you going to manage it for us?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Nope.
Now that you know there's
Nope.
free needs available,
I love it though, because I'm
maybe
a
we'll
pet
have one of the
person.
chapel after. We'll have a PP chapel, a Tim chapel. What's happening?
Dakota,
Dakota. We'll have Dakota.
you are so petty. You so petty.
So we can stop burying dogs.
Yeah, for you, because that you shouldn't do that.
I'm
You
a
shouldn't
firm
do
believer
that.
in that. Firm believer in the cross.
Now you can be helping families and you doing what you're doing right now. You're gonna have to be serious. Now you're gonna really have to
Oh, you
be
think we really
serious
did- you
and you're
think
gonna
we
have to
really did- you
mature.
think we really
because
did
there
bury
are
Terry in the
grievance.
background? We
Listen,
buried Terry in the backyard. We buried Fifi in the back. And then we stole these home. True story. I can't make
y'all
this stuff
transfer
up.
your pet.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We got 4 minutes, so you need to
All
wrap
right,
this up.
listen, you guys. The bottom line is this: is that we do deal with grieving process, and we joke about it, and we talk about it, and we know there's two sides to this show. We have the serious part of it. We understand at least 6 times a year that you are going to go through this grieving process. Remember, my advice is set aside a time to do it. If you don't, it's going to come out inappropriate time.
Mhm.
There's a time, there's a place for it. If don't ruin somebody else because of what you're going through and because you didn't plan for the right time. Agree or disagree?
I agree.
Agree
Yes,
with that?
I agree.
You gonna
So I've been
find
able to hold myself together
All right.
today, so I don't mess up your show
There you
because
go.
I'm grieving.
Time and
Just time.
place for everything. What are you doing for Mother's Day?
You know, we're doing a brunch.
With you and your mom?
My mom, my aunt, and my cousin that works here. We're all doing brunch and stuff together.
Yeah, nice,
Sometimes do brunch.
My mama died.
You
Shame
know
on
what?
y'all to celebrate Mother's Day.
You know what? But there's a time for
What I
that. Not
supposed to be
here.
doing? I want to mess up her Mother's Day. What y'all think? I'm gonna be
Nice.
grieving Aline Beckwith on Mother's Day. Here she is at a brunch. It's gonna
No.
kick it. Everybody start crying right now.
No.
I'm gonna bust in y'all brunch start playing sad songs.
I'm gonna call the police on the police. I'm gonna call the police on the
I'm
police.
gonna bust in start playing sad songs when we all get to help. Stuff like that.
No,
You guys, listen, we can't get it all out in one Saturday. And we're gonna be back every Saturday from 9 to 10 o'clock a.m. right here. Is it Uplift?
Uplift
Uplift
Live.
Live,
Uplift Live.
Facebook Live, Instagram Live, TikTok Live.
Yes, thank y'all so
Everything
much.
that's out there. Thank y'all so much for being a part of the show. Monday morning,
Monday morning.
it is the morning drive with the Undertaker. May God bless you. May God keep you. He is our